Alright, let's talk about one of the most classic traps in Spanish. One that almost every English speaker falls into, and usually without even realizing it. So we're speaking about physical states. Things like hunger, thirst, age, being cold, being hot, and the mistake of trying to express all of them using ser or estar. Today, that changes. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why English speakers get this wrong all the time, what the correct structure is, and how to use it naturally every single time. So here's the plan. First, we're going to look at the mistake itself, the exact sentences people say that sound off to a native speaker. Then, we will dig into why that mistake happened. And it's not because you're bad at Spanish. It's because English is weird differently. After that, I give you the golden rule, the one principle that solved this whole problem. And finally, we will lock it in with contrast examples and a shortcut that you can use right away. So, let's go. Okay, first, no one should feel bad about this one. This is honestly one of the most logical mistakes you can make as an English speaker. Because in English, you use to be for almost everything. You're hungry, you're thirsty, you're 25 years old. It's the same verb over and over and over again. So when you start learning Spanish, your brain does what any rational brain would do. It looks for the Spanish version of to be. It will find ser and estar, and then it will try to plug it in. That's it, makes sense, no? And this is where the confusion begins. So here's a $1 million sentence. Imagine you want to say I'm hungry in Spanish, and then you say soy hambre or estoy hambre. Now, every Spanish speaker will understand what you're trying to say, but this sounds weird as hell. And this is why. Hambre, it's a noun. It means hunger, not hungry. So what you have actually said is, I am hunger. Like if you were the physical concept of hunger itself, which is... never mind. And the same thing happens with age. Like if you say, soy 25 años. You have just said, I am 25 years, not 25 years old. Just 25 years. As if you are made of years. The correct version sounds completely different in Spanish, and that's what we're about to break down. So let's try to dig a little bit deeper. Why does this keep happening? The issue lies on something fundamental. English and Spanish, they don't always use the same type of verbs to express the same experience. In English, to be does a massive amount of work. It covers identity, location, physical states, age, almost everything. Just one verb, endless jobs. Spanish is different. Spanish distributes that job. And for a whole category of physical states like hunger, thirst, cold, heat, age, sleep, fear, Spanish doesn't use any form of the verb to be. It uses to have or tener. And pay attention, this is the key shift. In Spanish, you don't be hungry, you have hunger. You don't be 25 years old, you have 25 years old. This experience is expressed as something you possess, not something you are. That's a real trap. Your brain keeps looking for to be, but Spanish has already moved on to a completely different verb. So here's the aha moment, the golden rule. When expressing physical or bodily states in Spanish like hunger, thirst, age, heat, cold, fear, or sleep, use tener and not ser or estar. That's it. One rule. If your body is experiencing a physical state, you have it in Spanish. You don't be it. On one hand, ser and estar are used for identity, location, descriptions, feelings, and emotions. And in the other hand, tener is for physical states your body has, like hunger, thirst, heat, cold, age, and more. Okay, theory, it's clear. Now, let's see it in action. Look at this first contrast. Estoy hambre. It sounds wrong, like grammatically broken. And then we have tengo hambre. I have hunger, or I'm hungry. Same structure with thirst. The wrong version of this, it will be soy sed or estoy sed. The right way to say this thing will be tengo sed. I have thirst or I'm thirsty. And it happens exactly the same with age. So we will never say soy 25 años or estoy 25 años. That's wrong. If you want to say I'm 25 years old, the right way to say this thing will be tengo 25 años. And this works across the whole board. Tengo calor, I'm hot. Tengo frío, I'm cold. Tengo sueño, I'm sleepy. Tengo hambre, I'm hungry. Tengo miedo, I'm scared. Tengo prisa, I'm in a hurry. All of them use tener every single time, no exceptions. One detail we cannot miss. All these words are nouns like after tener. Like hambre, sed, calor, frío, miedo, sueño. That's why you don't have to add an article. So you don't have to say tengo la hambre or tengo el sueño, right? Just tengo hambre, tengo sueño. That's it. And, como lo prometido es deuda, here is your super useful shortcut. If you can replace the feeling with the word hunger, thirst, fear, or another physical noun, you're in tener territory. Ask yourself, is this something my body physically has? If yes, tener. That's it. It covers the vast majority of these cases without any deep thinking. Okay, really quick. If this kind of breakdown is helping you to see Spanish in a different way, if you find this video helpful, please subscribe. It helps me a lot. It means the world to me. And it's for free. Every single week we will be speaking about a different video. We will be breaking down different topics that actually confuse a lot of English speakers. So subscribe, stop guessing, and start thinking in Spanish. Okay, quick recap. For physical states like hunger, thirst, age, fear, cold, heat, Spanish uses always tener. Never ser, never estar. Always tener, okay? You don't be those things in Spanish. You have those things in Spanish. You possess them. And here's the real key. Not just for this topic, but for learning Spanish in general. The fastest progress comes when you stop trying to translate word by word from English to Spanish. You need to accept that there are a lot of different ways to say things in both languages. Both languages have different tools and different ways to express ideas, okay? So keep that in mind. So here's the question I leave you with. What other phrases are you translating word by word that may have a completely different structure in Spanish? Think about it, because that question might be the most useful thing you take from this video. And well, with all that being said, see you next time. Ciao.